I've been trying to do it right. I've been living a lonely life. I've been sleeping here instead. I've been sleeping in my bed. Sleeping in my bed.
So my experience with Hurricane Sandy was actually terrible. In Brooklyn, a lot of the times if you live near water, all this stuff is really bad. So I live right next to a place called Caesars Bay. It's a big, like right by the Verrazano Bridge, and we were just about a block away from Zone A. My mom was absolutely freaking out. She's totally paranoid.
The morning that Hurricane Sandy hit, about 7 o'clock, it was kind of a last-minute decision to evacuate our house. So I wasn't there, but my mom and my stepdad kind of packed up as much as they thought they would need, clothes and the animals, all our pets and stuff, and went to their friend's house.
This girl in our school, her mom died actually from the hurricane. Her and her dad were outside. There was a piece of concrete blocking all of the water rushing by, and all of a sudden just broke. And she just had glass, her arm was just sliced open. The husband tried to help her, and the whole family just pretty much watched her like bleed to death, and the ambulances couldn't get to her, and it was just really terrible to hear.
A natural disaster is a major event that takes place from the natural processes of the earth. This includes floods, earthquakes, tsunamis, and hurricanes.
What we did is after we cleaned everything up, the following week I kind of checked with the insurance company to see what was covered, and we found out that nothing really that got damaged was covered, which was okay because, like I said, you know, it was good not to have any damage inside the house.
My whole shed caved in, there was shingles off the house, like lights were flickering. It was honestly terrifying.
Hurricane Sandy was one of the most destructive hurricanes in the 2012 Atlantic hurricane season. In the United States, Hurricane Sandy affected 24 states. The hurricane forced the release of over 10 billion gallons of raw sewage. 94% of that raw sewage went into the water in and around New York and New Jersey.
I think it was about 2 days later, my stepdad drove down to our neighborhood, and it was blocked off by police. And they said that we weren't going to be allowed in for a couple of days. So he actually snuck into our neighborhood walking, and there were boats everywhere in the streets, like up against trees. There's just stuff everywhere. She basically rebuilt the whole house by herself when she bought it. And I lost everything that I had except for what books that were on shelves. That was about it. But it could have been worse because the house is still there, at least we thought. And then in about January, after we'd already redone the floor, ordered custom cabinets for the kitchen, replaced all of the appliances, we found out that we're actually gonna have to tear down the house.
You know, all the things that did get beat up, we had to just, you know, either fix ourselves or repair ourselves or pay for. So we're in the process of getting everything back to shape and going from there.
Immediately after we realized that it was a really big issue in our neighborhood, my mom actually went online and got phone numbers, got just any information that she could for whatever help was out there, and she immediately searched for FEMA. They were in our neighborhood the day that we were allowed in our neighborhood. And they actually already had our information because my mom went online and filled it out. And they were able to pretty much immediately, I think it only took about a day or two, to get 3 months rent and a stipend of money for any of our immediate needs, whether it was toiletries or clothes or whatever it was that we were going to need in the immediate future. And it was really helpful, and a little bit of a weight lifted that we didn't have to think about any of that stuff right away. Even though some things have gone smoothly, a lot of things haven't, and we still have a lot of rebuilding to do and kind of a lot of starting over to do.
We bought it